Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Late Night Quarantine Podcast, where I, your host, Lara Juice, talk to you about things that are going through my head because, I don't know, I need to find an outlet for it. So, welcome. I don't know how long this podcast will last or how long I'll keep doing it, but hey, if you're interested, just let me know and I'll keep talking. I can chat on for ages. So from here on in, I'll start doing a few of these podcasts. Not sure about a date and time yet, but just as a way to share my thoughts and have a bit of an outlet. And today I decided to talk a bit about mental health, particularly thanks to Steffie. I'll link her videos below. She's been doing some really interesting work and really creative stuff about mental health and quarantine. But for me personally, I wanted to speak a bit about setting up timetables and organizing yourself during quarantine. So for those of you who don't know me, hi, I'm Laura, I'm 23, I'm doing an MA in English Culture and Media, and I work part-time as a professional storyteller, and I'm an actor and creative for theatre. So I tend to keep my life pretty busy, and I like it that way, as much as I sometimes complain about not having time to have a break and chill out for a bit. I do genuinely enjoy being busy. But of course, with the recent COVID hit, like most creatives, I'm essentially out of work and all of the theatres are closed, and I suddenly find myself sitting at home getting exactly what I had asked for, which is more time. And I have all this time on my hands and I can't actually do anything. So I got sick with a common cold before the whole outbreak happened in Malta, and because of that I've been essentially in quarantine for the past 24 days, which is a long time, and it's taking me this long for my brain to kind of get around the whole quarantine and calm down and accept it and find a way to help myself. So I just wanted to share some tips with you. For those of you who know me, you know I'm a big advocate for mental health. As someone who suffers with depression and anxiety in different forms, I find that losing my schedule, losing my rhythm, my routine can be incredibly aggravating and upsetting. And for someone who tries to keep as busy as possible, having a lot of free time on my hands tends to mean that I have a lot of free time to overthink about everything. So I just wanted to give you some tips that I found really helpful during this time. Tip 1, for those of you who suffer with seasonal affective disorder or seasonal depression, buy a UVB light. Honestly, I've been so I have turtles. I'm a pet mum, and my turtles have a UVB light, and I've been kind of hogging it most days because it emits the light rays that you would get from the sun, UVB and UVA spectrum light, and I have found that it's actually really helped me set my sleep cycle, because if you don't know, your body is really affected by the cycle of sun, and having something as simple as a UVB light in your room can help give you that vitamin D boost. It's sunlight is actually proven to push up dopamine and help you feel a bit more positive. And for me, it's also been really helpful to keep my circadian rhythms on track. Circadian, you know what I'm talking about anyway. So UVA light, if you don't know where to get it, pet shops, most pet shops will have them. They're either in the reptile or in the bird section, and if you have reptiles or birds, they're probably good for them too. Tip 2, get rid of your linear timetabling. It's not going to work for right now. At least it's not working for me. And try cluster timetabling, which means that instead of listing things down that you want to do at like 8 a.m, 9 a.m, that doesn't work for me. But instead I just draw a big circle. I'm like, today I would like to accomplish some of these things. I don't have to do all of them. I can do one of them. I can do two. I can do them all if I want to, but it doesn't put as much pressure on the brain. And because it's not in any particular order, I find that it really helps align with the whole thing of not having a schedule. 3, I'm going to try and hurry this up because I don't want to keep you guys here for long. 3, monitor your content. Honestly, this is a big one for me. A few years ago, I stopped following a shit ton of beauty influencers because I couldn't deal with and Insta models. I couldn't deal with seeing like retouched bodies continually popping up on my feed and perfect hair and makeup and all of this shit. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, power to the Insta models, power to the beauty influencers. This is their hustle, this is their grind. I respect that. But it did start to affect me, and recently I've kind of done the same, like declutter and cleanse of all of my socials, and I've gotten rid of like groups that are negative, Facebook groups where like parents post a shit ton complaining or panicking about kids, or people complain about useless shit. Like, you don't need it in your life, and the more you see it, the more it's going to aggravate you. And on most days you may be able to take that, but during a quarantine and what feels like the beginning of the apocalypse, maybe not. So social cleanse. Tip 4, 5? I don't, fuck, I should have listed these down anyway. Tip 5. I started a list of the shit I've always wanted to do but never did. So like, top of that list, sing more. So I'm recording myself singing a lot, and I honestly hate it. I fucking cringe. Like, you know, hearing yourself back on a recording is fucking horrible. But anyway, I've been doing that a lot to help me like get this goal. I have no reason not to. And if anyone like makes fun of me, I can always blame it on like quarantine fever. But things like doodling, I've been doodling a lot. I can't draw for shit, but I'm trying. And some of the stuff I made isn't completely crap. And also Skyping. It's been really nice actually for me and my group of best friends. So me and my group of my best friends, if they're listening, hi Mart, Jürgen, Daniela, Mayra, Ed, Daniel, Martina, Bert, Edel, I miss Helen, if I missed anyone, fuck, if I missed any of you, I am so sorry. That is a shit move, but I think I mentioned everyone. No, but we've been Skyping, which is really interesting because we're people who live very different lives, and all of us are incredibly busy. That's kind of given me a lot of food for thought. I think I'm someone who really, I'm a hermit, and I realize this now more so because I don't freak out by being at home. I love being at home, and I tend to love to work. And I've taken my calendar and I've looked through the months, and I've actually checked off how many times I've gone out in a month. And shockingly, in a 7-month period, I've come back with like three events with my friends, which is messed up in 7, 14, 21, 7, 14, 20, 28 weeks. And it's been giving me a lot of thought about reorganizing my life and how I live it after quarantine. I think for a lot of people with anxiety who are high functioning like myself and are like beaten down by this fear of not being enough, I can honestly say that is my biggest fear, just not being enough. It can become very easy to slip into this work mentality, this grind mentality of like, I need to keep going. And I realized it, I didn't even notice it until I started to think about like my relaxing time, and my relaxing time was watching more theater shows which I take notes on, or reading books within my research area, which is fun but also work. So yeah, if you guys want me to talk a bit more about mental health and shit like that, let me know. I'd be down to do that, but for sake of not dragging this fucking podcast on, let's move on to the next point. What was my point for that one? Right, cluster, yeah, I think. Was that clustering? Was that just, I don't fucking know. I'm pretty shit at this, sorry guys. Yeah, but like, yeah, it was do things that you never thought you would have time for, right? Like, write the novel, write the play, sing, dance, I don't know, learn a few TikTok dances. I am on TikTok now, and I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty fucking addictive. It's fun. It is so fun. I feel bad, like I'm 23 and I feel like someone's gonna okay boomer me on that fucking app. But anyway, I swear a lot, sorry. If you know me in real life, you know I do genuinely swear a lot. Probably not a great idea, considering that I have like lectures and old bosses on my socials. So if you come across this, sorry. Last thing I really want to talk about is food. Now, for my friends, they know I cook a lot, and I love to cook. Like, passion, genuinely, I just enjoy cooking. And ever since I've gone vegetarian, I've been vegetarian for like a year and a half, nearly 2 years now. My mum doesn't know what to cook for me, so I cook all of my own meals, and I calorie count, so I have to measure out and cook all of my own meals, and sometimes it's tiring, but I love it. And I found so much joy in just having a new recipe to try, and I never thought it would make me that excited to just fucking try a new sauce with my pasta, but it generally has made a difference. I think it's something simple that you can enjoy, and turning panic about food rationing and you know, being stuck at home, and I think we tend to be creatures of habit and just eat the same shit over and over and again. But I found a lot of joy from just taking some time out and trying new recipes. Like this week I tried the pizza bianca. I think I've sent it to all my friends, so sorry if you're hearing this again for like the millionth time, but it was fucking good. It was really good. I perfected my vinegar tofu recipe, like pickled fried tofu. It's fucking amazing, guys. What else have I tried this week? Oh yeah, I tried 5-minute cupcakes, which worked really well actually. And I think tomorrow I'm gonna try either a new tofu recipe, or I'm gonna try and make bread. Let's see how this goes. But yeah, I think that's it. I mean, clearly my thoughts are very loosely gathered, but I didn't want to script this. I genuinely wanted this to just be me venting. And if no one listens to this podcast, fuck it. It was nice for me to do it. I also shaved my head today. Fun fact, I'm an idiot, and I didn't realize that we didn't have hair clippers. So I shaved my entire head with a beard trimmer. And I fucked up. Like the front looks great. In my photos it looked poppin'. I'll never say that again. But if you look at the back, it is jacked. So yeah, tomorrow I'm gonna go in and buy actual clippers. And if I shave it and it looks horrible, it doesn't matter, because I'm in quarantine and no one's gonna see me, so I can be as ugly as I want to be. Anyway, I think that's it for our first podcast. If you'd like to hear more from me, feel free to message me, let me know. I don't know what platform this is gonna go on, but if it's on Facebook, thumbs up, comment, Insta, like comment, heart, whatever. I'm gonna put up probably a question poll in my Instagram, so you can ask me things that you want me to discuss in the next one. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So, my little Geeklings, bring that back from my YouTube channel for those who remember it. You can't find it, I've privated everything because it was cringy. Anyway, Geeklings, I'm out. Stay safe. Have a good quarantine and lockdown. And stay creative and stay happy.